Draymond, just getting to this point now, you've been talking about get to the playoffs, get in the playoffs. This was a play-in game, but is it a sense of relief? And, we heard so much about, Steph want to play meaningful games. What's the sense that you got, this team now is in the playoffs?
I wouldn't necessarily say a sense of relief. Our goal is to get to the playoffs so we can make something special happen. It's not necessarily just to get there and the job's done. We know what it takes to win at a high level, so that's the focus. But, yeah, the goal is to get to the playoffs and win, so it's good to be here.
Draymond, what's the immediate mindset shift to going to Houston now? Like, what is it going to take after your guys' previous loss against the Rockets?
We just got to take care of the ball. We take care of the ball. Allows us to get our defense set, make them play in the half court. But it starts with, our offense got to help our defense.
You've seen what he's done in the past. I just asked Gary about it. What does the nickname Playoff Jimmy mean to you, though?
Yeah, he's different. That guy, he's different. You can just see a whole different intensity level and focus. And, I'm a basketball fan, so I've watched it on TV for years. To see it up close and personal, like it's a real thing. Sometimes you get in the NBA and like these guys come get these nicknames and you're like, man, stop it. Like, there's some other nicknames out there, they're not real. That one's real, and I'm happy he on our side.
Draymond, last game you said that everybody needed to step up, which obviously they did, and you've been completely vocal, and people obviously look to you for leadership. So did you have any type of talks with anybody on the team to say, like, how important this game was?
You have a couple sidebar conversations with guys that you see fit with. I think it's more so pouring confidence in more than anything. We have an interesting balance. We have a lot of experience and then kind of none at all, and so I think most importantly is reassuring our young guys that it's the same game. The moment gets bigger, the game don't change. And, a lot of them has never been in this position before. So just, really make sure you're reinstilling that confidence in them.
Hey, Draymond. How do you balance rest and recovery over these next 4 days with preparing for Houston in the next series?
We're a pretty veteran team. You kind of know what it takes to get your body ready to go. The positive is you don't have to have your body ready to go to Sunday. And I trust that everybody will know what it is that they need and be professionals and get it done.
Draymond, you just said you're a fan. Is this team, are you guys a team that people like to watch? Is this like America's team? It seems like you put on a show,
Steph Curry played here. It's the greatest show on Hardwood over the last 10 years. So, yeah, I think so. I know I like watching Steph play, and I'm kind of a basketball purist, so I know the rest of the world got to really appreciate it. But, yeah, I think there's no surprise. Steph Curry's been the best show in basketball for the last 10 years, and that hasn't slowed down a bit at all. I think the numbers will probably back that up. I don't necessarily know what the numbers are, but I'm pretty sure the numbers probably back it up.
But granted, but he's not just a one-man show. There's more to it. There's you.
We have
Jimmy now.
Jimmy's different, playoff Jimmy. We just spoke about him. But we also have a coach that make the game beautiful. The system that, he's implemented here over the last 10 years was unlike one we had ever seen before in this league. It was kind of a mixture of some greats that he played for, watched for years, and his own twist. And so I think, it's definitely not just one person. But we're not going to fool ourselves and act like it's the same without that one person either. He's a driving force to it for sure.
When you guys talk about playoff Jimmy, people think about offense a lot. But did you see like an extra intensity or extra level on defense from him tonight? And just
I've seen it the last few nights where he's just turned it up completely on both sides of the ball. I'm going to give him some crap about missing 6 free throws, but, he's just, I don't know, man. I think what's great is that everyone else is adjusting to it because he's way more aggressive to score. He hadn't yelled at anybody all since he's been here. He's like yelling at guys now. Like it's a totally different person. But I think the way guys are adjusting to it is beautiful. So we got to make sure we keep doing that. But it's a completely different person.
Draymond, you said last Sunday that the team needed to play with more grit. Would tonight's play be your definition of that?
We got loose balls tonight. Still a few we can come up with. We're going to nitpick and definitely going to nitpick. So there's still a few that we could, come up with, but have to get loose balls in these games. They just change the momentum, changes the game. So I think we did play with more physicality tonight. It showed quite a bit. They had 20 turnovers. You don't cause 20 turnovers now with no physicality.
I mean, you down the stretch there did get a little tight, and you needed some scoring, and you had fouled out. And Steph scored the final 10 points, and then not a shocking thing. You've seen it before, but was that special to see one more time? Just at the end,
it was even more special for me to see because when I shot that 3 in the corner, he very nicely told me that it wasn't time for me to shoot. He came over to me, he said, "Hey man, we got to get into a certain action that we call and we like to run." I was like, "All right, no problem." Like that was a very nice way of telling me don't shoot right now. No problem. I got him the ball the next play, hit the 3. Jimmy got him the ball the following play, hit the 3, or vice versa. It was one way or the other. Maybe Jimmy, then me, but whatever. But it was great. But I want to mention something that I saw today that no one will give a shit about. Sorry. Trace Jackson Davis did something on the bench today. He didn't play in the game. There was no seats left on the bench. Quentin Post said, "Trace, can I get that seat?" And Trace just got up. And a part of me was baffled that he got up for the rookie because the rookie, if there's no seat, you sit on the floor. He just got up and gave him the seat. And I walked over to him and I said, that's one of the most selfless things I've ever seen a teammate do because 99% of the time, you're going to be like, you going to go sit on the floor, Rook, or go find a seat somewhere else? But he knew he wasn't part of the rotation. And yet the rookie was. They're playing the same position. And he got up and he literally got up and went and stood in the tunnel because there were no seats. And so I just wanted to put that out there because that, to me, that's why you win games. It's chemistry, it's selflessness, it's togetherness. And I just thought that was a huge moment. And nobody else saw it except us 3. And so I wanted to share that because I thought that was a really big moment for our bench that, you can make him sit on the floor and nothing happens. Or you can get up and boost confidence in him and he go back out there and hit a 3. And I thought that was special.
Draymond, for you guys to get a 5-second violation like that, I mean, what can that do? 5 seconds left. They can't even get the ball in bounds. I mean, does that give guys, you weren't on the floor, but gives guys confidence that, hey, we can pull off any kind of stop?
Yeah, I thought that was a huge play. Guys, right there, you don't want to get detached from guys and allow them to tee up a 3 in that situation, so you got to stay attached, and thought everybody did a great job taking their guy away. Was a little shocked that Santi was taking the ball out, but we'll take it. It's good for us, so it worked.
Draymond, what's Jimmy been yelling about?
Everything. Guys take a bad shot. Guys don't get loose balls. He go a couple possessions without touching the ball. He's going crazy right now. I have to get the ball. I have to touch the ball. And so it's been interesting to watch the shift. As someone who's been in a million playoff series, very interesting to watch the shift. I'm enjoying it.
You guys seem to know that they were going to put Edie on him to start the game.
Teams been trying stuff like that, and they always try funky things against us. And so it was kind of expected because they just always do stuff like that when they play against us. And so I didn't think they put Jaren on him because they'd be worried about Jaren getting in foul trouble. But I knew they want to put size on him. You can't put Jai on him. You can't put Bane on him. You can't put Scotty on him. I mean, we thought, there was. I didn't think they would make a substitution to match somebody over Jimmy. So the obvious person left is Zach, and Jimmy played well.
You kind of hinted at it in your last answer about like him turning up the scoring aggression. Had you been, wanting him to do it more? Like, was any part of you like kind of like, where is it? Where is it? Or
I definitely have been wanting him to do it more, but I wasn't worried at all or going to press for it because I'm in year 13. I think Jimmy's in year 14. He has a way about him. And you learn not to mess with God's process. I think we all have our process. I have my process. And you just learn, like, not to mess with a God process. Like, he goes about things a certain way. I think that's the beauty of this place. Nobody's going to be like, yo, you need to do more of this or this. Nah, we're going to, like, that's what you do. That's what you do. It's on us to figure everything else out. And so, no, I don't think, only Buddy said something, but it's Buddy. Buddy don't know no better. So all of us was just like, he'll be more aggressive when it's time to be aggressive. And I think that's 2 games in a row. He shot 20 shots, right? It's impressive.
What did you see from John Morant, especially after he came back in the third or fourth quarter after he kind of hurt himself? Any difference for you, or
the dog that always is Ja? I think he may struggle to play in the game Friday. He just came back tonight off straight adrenaline. But that's who he is. That's why this franchise has been in the position that they've been in over the last few years, and you're kind of like, man, they may make a run because Ja is special. He's one of the more special players in this league and has the heart of a lion. And so I wasn't surprised at all. That's who he's been. That's who he's going to be. His saying is, I'm going to run up the chimney. And he lived by that. And, I respect it because he never not run up the chimney.
Steve said tomorrow is one of his favorite days of the year, just in terms of he and the coaches get together and scout for a series. What is your preparation process like, mentally, physically, scouting ahead of a series?
Tomorrow I'll get away from it for me, which is why I tell you I don't want to coach. But I was just telling the guys downstairs, like, the only thing I was thinking about earlier today was like, man, I just want the opportunity to go through that first film session that we go through to start every series. It's like no other, and I've been looking forward to that. It's just a different level of preparation that it's impossible to get in the NBA. There's just way too many games, but you get to that playoff series and the level of preparation is so different. So I'm looking forward to not tomorrow, but the following day. He can have tomorrow, but that preparation and getting ready for a team that you got to see possibly 7 times in a row is so fun. It's like no other.
Kuminga's had some good games against Houston this year. He's obviously taken 2 DMPs the last 2. How have you seen him handle that, and how much do you still expect him to possibly contribute?
He'll contribute. He's great. He's getting his work in. That's all you can do in that situation is get your work in. And he'll be meaningful for us in that series. I have zero doubt about that. I think the challenge for him is to stay mentally engaged, as is for anyone in that situation. but I have zero doubt in my mind that he's going to help us in this series. He will 1,000%.